Hey everyone, it's the Patient Hodler coming at you with another quick market update, and it's starting to get really interesting as Ethereum is breaking out. Already hit $4,500 per Ethereum, and now the big question is that the big breakout towards altcoin season, and where the final exuberant run, the euphoria and the degeneracy really happens? That's a big question. We're going to get into this. And as you can see here, Vitalik is already ready to go with us. But before we do that, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on. Don't miss out on my live streams, Crypto Morning Coffee, that we have multiple times per week, every time when there's something new to talk about. So stay tuned for that, be subscribed for that. And with that, let's jump right in. So Ethereum is breaking out, just as predicted here, from our, let's say, symmetrical triangle here. Big, nice retest. We are on the weekly chart. Target in the direction of 7,000, little bit shy of 7,000. And we are going at the moment, sitting just below $4,500. And that was a big, mega, beautiful pattern with multiple touch points, very valid. And at the same time, we see that Bitcoin doesn't really get through its next overhead resistance here at 120,000. We do see wicks to the upside, but we didn't really get through it. And that is exactly the time, like in the last cycle, where Bitcoin always goes up, profit's been taken, rolled into ETH, especially when ETH has this nice continuation chart pattern with the backtest here. So that is all looking good. Now, question is, why is this all happening? Why do we have euphoria at the moment? So I'm not quite a believer in only the charts. I say charts are relevant, but also so is macro conditions. Not every news is relevant. Not every whale that sells is relevant. You remember there was a whale just selling 80,000 BTC, basically, a Satoshi era wallet. No one remembers anymore. It was only 3 weeks ago or so. But the real reason why things are a little bit exuberant right now is this, right? You can see it here on the main page. Live S&P 500 hits new record as CPI report gives Fed green light to cut rates. They really say it this way. So technically, Jerome Powell should cut rates in about 35 days, and the market is obviously pricing that in already. The chances, according to CME Watch tool, are only 5% that the rate stays as is, but actually 94.4% that we do get a 25 base point rate cut. No one really estimates more cut than that. So let's see if we really get it. But I do think that the chances are extremely high that we get it. Now, that is basically the reason. We will see some voices around this as well in a second in this video. But let's look first what is actually looking, how is it looking for Bitcoin? And that is basically now the inverted chart to ETH against BTC, as Bitcoin dominant is falling off of a cliff, and this could really be the start of alt season. However, we remember this time where we thought it will be as well. We could still turn around here. I would say we are not safe until we lose this support here, basically from here to here. Actually, we are already below it, to be honest. But I want to really see this significant move to the downside. But I think this could be it. Not 100% certainty though. So let me know in the comments below if you think that's it for alt season or not, because then we will see alts firing. We already see alts moving with Ethereum big time. Macro conditions, and you know we valued this on the channel quite a bit, are extremely good. We lost support here, multi-year support for good on the DXY, the dollar getting weaker exactly as anticipated. And we did have a bearish retest successful here after we had some fake outs before. So continuation to the downside is expected, especially when the rate cuts are really coming in. So, and this is usually a bull run. We see this, the last two bull runs are looking like this. This is the 2 bull runs away, this last bull run, and this is our bull run so far. So if we have a collapse here in the DXY to the downside, we would get an absolute mega pump. Also, this not guaranteed, but all conditions right now look in that direction, that we actually get rate cuts that are not driven by panic and fear and basically crashing economy, because that would probably be the end of the bull run then, even with rate cuts. But right now we do get normal rate cuts, so to say. So is that the altcoin season? Well, we do have Benjamin Cohen here coming out and saying it's actually not, because all other altcoins are bleeding into Ethereum. And that is true, right? Right now, the only thing outperforming Bitcoin is Ethereum and maybe one or two random coins. But the overall path to the altcoin season is not yet that. But it is somehow the beginning of the altcoin season if we follow this chart pattern here, right? Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. That is a phase 2 on the path to altcoin season. I think we are in this phase right now, but this phase is still developing. So are we in altcoin season? No. Are we close? Yes, in my opinion. So I think that is what we're looking at. Very important to distinguish the stuff, right? So yes, other coins are losing now against Ethereum. Before they were losing against Bitcoin, and Ethereum and Bitcoin, they can still go back and forth in this phase, right? But we still also have some time until the end of the year to get some fat gains out of the altcoins. Now, we do have some FUD here as well. Samson Moe, for example, he says Ethereum investors are rotating their Bitcoin to pump ETH on new narratives like Ethereum treasury companies, then dump ETH at highs to rotate gains back into BTC, warning no one wants ETH in the long run. I disagree somehow with that. This has been said before. We still see that a lot of big institutions are betting on ETH. We see that ETH has had a tremendous comeback, and the question is still, do you rotate back into BTC? Maybe that happens in this phase right now, but at some point, people will rotate from ETH into large cap coins, into other coins, into, I don't know, ADA, XRP, whatever. And then once these pump down the road to make the tremendous gains. There is no evidence that this goes from ETH back into Bitcoin and that's it for the alt season, right? But we will see. I disagree, but we will see. Then, very important also, this one here, it's already a little bit older, but still treated as breaking news, July 17th, so almost a month ago, already Wintermute has no more Ethereum for OTC sales. And that is important because we do see now that there is actually somewhat a price shock, because since then, basically, Ethereum did move hard since July the 17th, and that was when this news came out. And someone asked Grok, is this real? Grok says, yes, it's real. Ethereum treasury firms have bought 2 million ETH since June per Standard Chartered, matching ETH inflows and driving scarcity. Wintermute's OTC desk is nearly out. This could spark DeFi yields and push ETH price up, as companies like SharpLink raise billions more. Now, that is also interesting because if DeFi yields go up, that could be that DeFi becomes more attractive. It could actually drive large cap DeFi narrative. I'm thinking about Aave, I'm thinking about Uniswap, like the dinosaur coins from the last run. But overall, I think that is very valid and something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, last but not least, is that there are some CME gaps open on Ethereum, and someone has made me aware that this could actually pull back and close the CME gaps. However, in a rampant bull run and raging bull market, so to say, end phase, CME gaps can open all the way, just as they are opening in a bear market and are only being closed later, right? Here, for example, we see a small CME gap open, and then this one opened, and then this bottomed and came back to close this one first, and then only here we did close the rest, right? So no guarantee that these CME gaps get filled right now on our move up. Of course, it can be pullback, but I don't think that actually we pull back to 2,800 where the small CME gap is open right now. Rather, I would say we go exuberant pump to 7K and then we go into bear market, right? Something like that. But let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen. And Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments below what you think, and wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. I catch you in the next live stream video. Bye.